The oxpecker's sharp beak clamps down on a bloated tick buried deep in the rhino's hide. The oxpecker becomes a tiny speck against the vast sky as the rhino crashes through the brush. The rhino's ears swivel forward, detecting something invisible beyond the frame. The rhino's hide is a fortress of thick, wrinkled skin, a near impenetrable armor against the savanna's dangers. But to a parasite less than a millimeter long, it is a continent of opportunity. A single tick, swollen with blood, is oblivious to the world until a sharp, scissor-like beak clamps down on its abdomen. The oxpecker's bill works with surgical precision, a tiny predator dismantling a miniature ecosystem of pests buried in the folds of the giant's flesh. The rhino, a mountain of bone and muscle, stands motionless, a silent titan. It is a partnership forged in the crucible of survival, a symbiosis as delicate as it is ancient. The red-billed bird, a flash of crimson and grey, is far more than a simple cleaner. The oxpecker darts and weaves, a feathered acrobat navigating a treacherous landscape of flesh and bone. Its claws grip the rough hide, and with every peck, it extracts a meal and a moment of relief for its colossal host. This interaction, however, is a transaction. It is not a gesture of altruism, but a finely tuned biological contract. But the real exchange is far more complex than it first appears. The bond between the giant and the bird is built on a shared desperation. The rhino, a creature of immense power, is rendered vulnerable by the constant, draining assault of parasites that weaken its body and spread disease. The oxpecker, in turn, is a specialist in a world of abundance, a tiny predator whose survival depends on the very creatures that could crush it with a... It is a high-wire act of trust, a relationship where one wrong move could mean annihilation. Then, the air changes. The oxpecker, a sentinel on the rhino's back, stops mid-peck. Its head cocks, a minuscule radar dish detecting a threat the rhino cannot perceive. Then, a sharp, piercing sisik cuts through the air, a sound far more valuable than any parasite it consumes. It is the sound of a security system, a biological early warning signal. The rhino's ears swivel, and its massive head lifts from its grazing. The towering herbivore crashes through the brush, a behemoth fleeing a danger it cannot face. The oxpecker, thrown from its perch, becomes a tiny speck against the vastness of the sky. It has given everything, its food, its security, its very life, for the safety of its giant partner. But this is not a story of sacrifice. It is a story of pure, unadulterated mutualism. The bird will find its way back. It will alight on the rhino's back once more, its beak ready to pick, and its voice ready to scream. It is the only way both will live to see another sunrise on the African plain.